What's going on, football fans? It's me, J.R. Clark, back again with another Pound for Pound ATL Live. Uh, Joined generally by my co-host Jonathan Holder. Um, why will it not? It is not letting me unmute you guys. Can't unmute you. Ah, maybe y'all hit your buttons.
Yeah,
See if you can unmute yourselves.
I unmuted myself.
Savion. There we go. Now I'm over here. Normally, like I generally like unmute as I'm talking. I'm like, it's giving me an error. What is going on here? Um, anyway, hopefully Jonathan will be joining us here in just a few minutes. He was tidying up some things at the house, but today I am happy to be joined by two of some of my favorite people to interact with on the internet, and I always enjoy. When I get a chance to have y'all on the show, I'm joined by Savion Mixon. The now should I introduce you as from the Vikings wire? Uh,
Might as well at this point.
Might as well at this point.
Yeah, it's been a
So
whole season.
yeah, I was about to say, like, we got you in here for double duty, right? Like, from a Viking standpoint, and obviously from you were a Falcons fan before you defected. For
Wait, what?
uh,
Well, what? What's the word we're using? I don't like that
uh,
terminology.
no, okay. Before you took an opportunity, how
There
about
you
that?
go. There
There
you
There
it
go.
you
is.
go. Yeah.
There it is. And then also we awesome to be joined by Big Low Country, taking time out of your busy day to get on here. I just saw a clip of you on the news or something. Was that what I just saw?
Uh, yeah, we was on the news earlier today.
There it is. Did,
Man, look at you getting
hey,
all
look,
famous and
famous. I was
everything.
about to
Gotta
say
love it.
exactly. Famous. So we are into the obviously second day of the legal tampering. Like,
Yep.
keep in mind, folks, like we haven't actually hit the start of free agency yet. That happens tomorrow at 4 o'clock. That's when everything becomes official, and you'll start seeing a slew of graphics and stuff from the Atlanta Falcons social media, team, all that jazz. But for all intents and purposes, we're 2 days in, and names are flying off the board. Um, and we want to get obviously y'all's reactions and opinions to what has already happened and what happened today. So I guess without much further ado, we might as well get into it. All right. So big news yesterday. Obviously, we got a new QB, and it's not Big Low. That's a problem there. Missed out again on the opportunity. But who we did sign was Kirk Cousins. So I want to hear it from the Vikings perspective, so to speak. So Savion, I want to tee you up first and let you take off with it. What was the reaction from that side of the aisle? I guess you could say.
So of course there's going to be those that are upset because nobody. It's just a huge change. There's a lot of people that they've had Kirk since 2017. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's been a long time. He was brought there. Was it 2017 or 2018? I think it was 2018 actually. But he came in. He was supposed to be that guy to put them over the top. Now there's also those guys that aren't as, I won't say they're not hurting that he's gone, because you got to remember throughout his tenure there, he only allotted one playoff win.
Right.
So as much as change was difficult, I think it was necessary for them. And so there's a lot of the contingent over there that's like, yeah, it's gonna suck to have to try to find a quarterback, try to find the avenue to a quarterback, but we'll go ahead and take it on the chin for right now.
Right. And that was like some of the feelings and opinions that I had yesterday. It was, is he an upgrade to what we've had the past 2 years? Obviously,
Nominally, yes.
like that doesn't. So, are you fixing to see more competent football? Probably more football that is enjoyable to watch from a fan perspective. Yes. Um, is he going to lead us to the promised land? Eh, that
Hey,
remains.
maybe
I mean, it remains to be seen. Stranger things
no.
have happened.
Nobody thought Chris Chandler was going to take us to a could take us to a Super Bowl, and look what happened. We got our asses kicked when we got there, but still we got there. saying.
I'm glad you went there.
I mean, and then you think about it, like, did Chris Chandler really take us, or was he just like in the trunk while Jamal
Well,
Anderson drove?
No, that offense was humming, man. I think Jamal
Chandler
Anderson
got
was
a
there.
Chandler got a Pro Bowl got
He
2 Pro
did.
Bowls off of it. So I
Yeah.
don't know. He might not have been, in the driver's seat, but he was at least in the back seat.
right?
I don't know if he was in the trunk.
Well, I mean, he was a guy that was constantly battling injuries throughout his career.
Yeah.
He finally had a little bit of health there with the Falcons, and they had the right running game. I mean, everything just kind of came together. You had a good running game that you could play action off of with some good receivers that could beat guys deep, with a guy who could throw a good deep ball. I mean, that's what it boiled down to. And so if you get all of those confluence of events,
So,
it looks
sounds
good.
like you might be trying to load up for something else. All right, before we continue on, I'd be remiss if I didn't go ahead and give Fred Brutz his props. I appreciate you, Fred. He said, "We are loading up." Hashtag Dirty Birds. I don't know about loading up just yet, but we are definitely making some moves. I really teetered with my title today. I was thinking about going with the Falcons Get Offensive, but I didn't know if that joke would land real well.
I like it.
No,
I
right.
like that. I like that.
Thank you. Okay,
It lands both ways.
and I went with Moonstruck with the Darnell Mooney signing. So before we get into that deeply, Big Low, what was the reaction from all the coaches on your side on the bringing in Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I mean, it was a mixed reaction. So like as soon as it happened, I went live. Like as soon as I got the alert. So while we were live, that's whenever the numbers came down, and everybody's like, "Oh man, $180 million." So it was like an emotional roller coaster. We're like, "Oh, we got a competent quarterback. Ooh, $180 million.
Oh man, it cost us money. Like that's interesting. Is that's the part that you bring up because regardless of which direction we went, it was going to cost us something, right?
Yes.
If you were going to move up to get one of the big three, well, whether it be Daniels or May or Williams, you were going to have to pay a king's ransom. You were going to have to mortgage your future as far as draft capital went. Instead, they went with the other route, which was the monetary route. Which after the detail of the numbers came out, it really actually kind of looks pretty good as
Yeah.
far as what we're concerned, right? If they really wanted to, they can get out of it after next season. So it's really like a 2-year deal with 2 years of club options. So as far as the financials goes, you're going to pay Cousins, obviously, and you're going to pay him more than Daniel Jones. Okay, real quick here. Did I see that Daniel Jones got released, or was that some BS?
I'm
Because
pretty
I
sure
haven't.
that's BS.
Okay, I was about to say I
Okay.
briefly saw it. I didn't get a chance to like really dig into it, but I didn't see like any of the big guys going with it. So I figured it was BS.
I mean, first thing I'd be like, why are you handcuffing your organization right now with that?
No doubt.
But
No doubt.
that would be a crazy move for them to make.
Yeah, I completely agree because I know they signed Drew Lock earlier, which I was chuckling at the early part of the offseason that he was going to be your week one starter for the Falcons. But
Dodge that bullet.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I love
it was worth 180 million to not have Drew Lock as our starting
Yeah,
quarterback.
we're good on that.
I loved posting those memes and just have everybody like, "You're serious?" I'm like, no, "Of course I'm not serious, you goofy people." Anyway, so all right, on to the big news of today. And I hope I didn't double check my spelling. So somebody tell me if I spelled that wrong. I have the spelling capacity of a third grader. So we signed Darnell Mooney. Low, what was your reaction when that news finally broke?
I was actually happy. I was excited to hear about it. I know some people, on Twitter, but Twitter's not a real place. So some people on Twitter were
Not a real
were,
place.
were complaining about they were complaining about the numbers and everything, but it's like I remember the year before last and the years prior, and I'm pretty sure Savion can attest to this. Like Darnell Mooney was a problem.
Mhm.
A
Like people
problem.
forget. Like
Yeah,
Darnell Mooney, he can run every route in the route tree. He can stretch the field out. He's exactly what we needed. And I mean, man, and I didn't realize he was that young.
hmm
So
yep.
it's like, man, I think I give that an A+ all day.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was we had done a show a while back, doing like a free agent forecast, and we talked about some wide receivers, and Darnell Mooney's name had come up, and I thought, and that was initially when we were getting tied to Justin Fields, and I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, that could be a decent connection, but the talent was one of the reasons why. I looked at him. He gives you that speed element that we haven't had really since Zacchaeus left.
Yeah.
Um, and so I'm excited to put that back into the offense because that was one of the things that was seriously lacking.
I mean,
Uh,
remember we had Scotty Miller. Like Scotty Miller was supposed to be a burner, but we just didn't utilize him correctly.
no, I guess that was just an aspect that I don't know if it was just because Arthur didn't trust Ritter to throw it deep,
Uh,
you know,
The
but
offense was essentially condensed into like 40 yards. So
right,
it
Yeah,
that kind of took away anything that either who was it, Scotty Miller or Van Jefferson could give you down the field.
that's true.
right, exactly. Savion, what was your initial thoughts on the Darnell Mooney signing?
So my initial thoughts were, man, 13 million, that's a lot of money. But then I started to look at, the contracts that are given to wide receivers nowadays. That kind of APY, I mean, that makes sense. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
he puts him in the range of what Gabe Davis and DeAndre Hopkins right now. Like that's
That
essentially what you're getting right now.
I was listening to Nate Tice and
Robert Mays.
yep, Robert Mays, and that
Hmm.
was a conversation that they were having about that middle tier wide receiver, and that's exactly where Mooney falls. He's a good, um, potentially number two option, potentially like
And a
number
great
two.
number three.
Yeah, a great number three. I was going to say like a 2B,
Hmm.
like 2A, 2B. I don't think he's talented enough to be a 1B. Like I don't think he can handle that, but being a 2B or a strong 3A, giving you like a deep threat, somebody besides, Kyle Pitts giving you a deep threat, which is weird to say, coming from, your tight end position. Um, a little bit of breaking news. I'm sure we're going to be having some of that during this uh, show. It looks like the Steelers just traded Deontay Johnson to Carolina. So Carolina gets
Wow.
a decent threat for Bryce Young to throw to.
Yeah.
You know what they
So
So
gave
it
up?
was.
I'm trying to see. It's not showing
It says a pick
what the.
swap is all it says.
Oh, here we go. The Panthers get Deontay Johnson and pick 240 and the Steelers get Dante Jackson and pick 178.
Got it.
So a corner for a wide receiver, and then they swap 240 for 178. So looks like Con- Chauncey Gardner Johnson is returning to the Eagles for 33 million bucks on a 3-year deal. I don't know. Like I think that's going to be one of those areas that the Falcons could be linked to coming up here soon is to cornerback position.
Hmm.
So that's interesting. That's the reason why I mentioned that. Let's see here. All right, so let's get to the other big thing that kind of like deflated uh, the feeling, so to speak, going into this. Like, I kid you not, I was a little bit more hyped going into the show, and then this news broke, and it kind of, I'm trying to get hyped again. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of
Yeah,
deflated me a little bit. You
it
know,
really did.
like it kind of sucked the air out of the room. But uh, right before we went live, Darnell,
Daniil.
Daniil.
Neil.
Ah, thank you. I
Yeah.
was like, I blanked. My mind locked on Darnell, and it would not let go. Daniil Hunter signed a 2-year deal with Houston for
Oh,
$51 million.
it was 3, wasn't it?
I think it was two, because it was $51 million total, and 49 of it was guaranteed. That was the part that I found to be interesting.
Okay.
And apparently, as Chris is stating here, the Falcons offered him something similar, but a 3-year, $75 million contract. But he decided to go home instead. And, sometimes the draw of hometown, playing for your hometown team, that, and Texas doesn't have any state taxes, so
That's a huge factor.
hello,
Yeah.
real
Can't
big.
go wrong.
I think Arthur needs to make a call to somebody and be like, "Hey, look, dog, y'all messing with my team here.
Yeah.
Can't get no players because y'all got a state tax." Um, so so the question now becomes, what edge is left? Low, who you looking for? Who you like? Is it just draft or bust at this point for you?
Um, I mean, I believe you'll. I believe you. There's still some guys out there in free agency that you can get who might be like kind of a transition piece, kind of like Bud Dupree was last year. Like, was it Uche from the Patriots? If he hasn't gotten a deal already,
Well, he went
Uh,
he
he,
went back to the Patriots.
Add it
oh, he
up.
yeah.
did go back to the
Yeah,
Patriots.
Yep.
unfortunately, he was
He,
one
he
of
went for like 1 year, $3 million.
3 million bucks.
Yep.
That's
That
it.
Yeah.
that but and it could be worth up to 8, but
Okay, was he
like
said it?
literally went back on a 1 year deal, and I'm like, come on. I know we would have offered. I probably offered him at least
But
3.
here's the deal on that, Jonathan. If you were tied up with negotiating with Daniil Hunter,
Daniil Hunter.
and which is
Exactly.
what it seemed like was going on for the majority of the afternoon,
Yeah.
is that they were tied up with Daniil Hunter, and in that time frame, guys like Josh Uche and some other dudes come off the board for next to nothing.
Yeah, yeah. It
So
seemed
Yeah.
that
like we went big game hunting and missed.
right,
Yeah.
right.
It happens, but my next target would be either try to either trade for, or hopefully he gets cut and you get Khalil Mack. I wouldn't mind having him here. Or really the only other guy that I maybe would look at would be Chase Young, or maybe Yannick Ngakwe, like one of those guys.
Yeah, I'm really looking at the draft. I know everybody
Yeah.
been kind of getting naked for Dallas Turner after the combine, but Jared Verse,
I am one of those that has in fact gotten naked from down the Turner. I will attest to that.
hey,
I
to
can I can
each
say.
his own, Savion.
Look,
You
I'm
know, he
gonna go ahead
might
and
come
call
out
it.
and do it.
I'm not getting naked for another man. Okay.
Oh,
I don't
okay, all
I
right.
don't care how good of a pass rusher he is. I'm not getting.
I mean,
It ain't even in me.
if he somehow brings 30 sacks a year to the Falcons, like on his own,
I, I'm
I'd
not
consider it.
getting. I'm not getting. No, no, I'm not even
Well,
gonna
we're not
consider it.
talking
That's
about
just.
literally. We ain't talking about literally,
Oh,
Jr.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Just
not
a
All right,
term,
all
literally.
just a
Yeah,
term.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I was
right.
Oh,
Whoa,
well,
whoa,
all
whoa.
right, okay.
30 sacks in a season. Just saying.
I don't know. So I know somebody who might have an issue with that there, John. Oh man. Oh shoot, Willie Doc, we appreciate you. He says, "What's up, P for P, Big Low, and Savion? Thanks for the content. Keep up the
What's
great
up,
work,
Willie?
guys. D line at 8, or trade back with Minnesota for extra picks. This is the first draft, legitimately in a while, especially if we land a corner and a edge rusher before the draft, that I could legitimately see us like moving back. And the reason why I say that is because yes, Dallas Turner might be worth getting naked for. Maybe that's debatable, but there is no Khalil Mack in this draft.
Nope.
There is no Miles Garrett in this draft. You got some, nice edge rushers in, Latu, Verse, uh, Turner, that you could grab in the first round, but they're not like gotta have, so to speak. Um, so if somebody like a Minnesota, hey, Savion, what do you think? The chances of Minnesota like falling in love with a QB since they seem to be QB uh lacking now,
Efficient at this point.
deficient. That's better. Thank you.
If JJ McCarthy is there at 8, I can very much see them saying, "Hey, listen, I understand. I understand that there's like this whole thing with JJ McCarthy. There's this whole stigma like, oh, he's not ready yet. Listen, JJ McCarthy with Kevin O'Connell would be heavenly, especially if he doesn't have to play right away. So I could very much see him saying, "Hey, look, Terry, I'll give you this. I'm trying to think. This maybe 40, maybe 42, so that you can pick back to back, and let me go and get my guy." And Terry being like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah.
So I could very much see that happening.
Now you wonder if there'd be any hard feelings about signing Kirk Cousins, like that. That
I don't
can't
think there
that can't
will
get in the
be.
way, right?
I don't think there will be because I think Kirk. What I think what took the deal so long was Kirk saying, "Hey, look, this is what the Falcons are offering me. Are you going to match that?" And them looking at it and being like, 45, huh? Yeah,
It's like,
you got that.
it's like, nah, yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead,
you
go
you
Well,
ahead.
you yeah, you go ahead and head out
well,
there.
so what I heard
Yes, ma'am.
somewhere was I'm trying to remember who it was, Albert Breer maybe.
Mhm.
But what he was saying was they basically came to Kurt and be like, look, we love you, we want you here. We can't do the same kind of deal that we've been doing, where we guarantee 2, maybe
All
3
of it.
years,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
or
all
all
of
of it. Yeah, we can't do that. And so what he was looking at was that the best they could offer was they could guarantee this upcoming season, 24. That's it,
right.
right? And then but past that, nothing was guaranteed. Whereas the Falcons were willing to come in and say fully guaranteed first 2 years. And then the third year is where you get like a little tiny, like 10 million, I say tiny, $10 million bump
Hmm.
of guaranteed money. But past that, once you get past the second year, the salaries are no longer guaranteed.
Right.
Right.
And but they were able to give 4 years, uh, $100 million guaranteed. I heard like 3 years, 76 or something like that was what they were talking about. Was the number I heard from that Minnesota was offering. But again, if they were only offering that first year guaranteed and nothing else, then the Falcons offer is looking better. And Minnesota was just like, for our team, that's not the right kind of deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Quick side note. um, Jonathan, is it a P OnlyFans confirmed?
Not
Um,
now.
no, no. Okay, good. Because I was like, don't rope me into that now. You might get some like paid content of cooking videos or something like that. You know, I'll show you how to make some good Mediterranean food or something of that nature. But can't be doing no anyway. So which I could get Big Low on there, on a OnlyFans cooking thing.
What in the
Oh
Like,
world,
yeah.
bro?
yeah,
What
yeah,
in the
right.
world,
Yeah,
boy?
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
could throw down. We could throw down.
Yeah, we can do
Uh,
that.
um. So, what do you think, uh, Low? What do you think like the biggest need left going like as it stands right now? Um, that you think the Falcons would be trying to target?
Man, I would say pass rusher, Jr. I would say pass rusher, but I would also venture to say that offensive line might be a close second because we're going into a situation where Caleb McGarry had his best days with Arthur Smith, and those days as far as pass blocking weren't the best. So you might want to seriously consider getting another tackle to protect Kirk Cousins with a recovering Achilles or Achilles. And Words of the people in Greece.
I mean, so we're Achilles.
Learn something new every day.
I
I
mean,
know.
look, we always learn something with low comes on. Okay, always. Um, yeah, I see. Like, Savon, do you agree on that? What do you see as being like the biggest needs? As Terry has laid out more than once, he's BPA in free agents. No, excuse me, he's needs in free agency, and BPA in the draft. So,
Mhm.
what are you seeing as some of the bigger glaring needs?
So with Jeff Okuda gone, I'm kind of thinking that that's another thing that they're going to be targeting is that cornerback position. But yeah, like Big Low said, you have to bring in an edge of some sort, and now you're kind of digging into the bottom of the barrel.
Well,
I
see,
mean,
as you bring that up, let's just kind of take a look here. I'm gonna move this
yeah,
banner so we ain't covering Big Low's face because he's pretty and we want to be able to see him.
amen.
Uh, so let's make this a little bit bigger so everybody can really see what's going on. All right, so these are the guys that have assigned already, right?
Yep,
Out of 64 defensive ends, right? Out of 64 eligible defensive ends, 14 of them have already signed, and it's the 14 that you would probably want, right? Now you're getting into the Emmanuel Ogba.
yeah.
Does that interest anybody? Yannick Ngakwe is the one that interests me the most, I guess, because
Out of
he's been
all
the
of
most
these, yeah,
consistent. Uh, Chase Young is like I'd pay him pennies or maybe peanuts.
the bet that you're taking on Chase Young is so the uncertainty is just so high.
Like, do you think you can properly motivate him not to take half the game off?
Yeah,
That's the
Because like
question.
you're in the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know you're
You
you're
can't get
you're
much
right.
bigger than that.
Right.
Yep.
Let's see. Derek Barnett. I didn't keep up with how he fared in Houston.
That I can't tell you.
I know he didn't
We'll
like
see.
he didn't blow the doors off in Philadelphia, obviously, because they moved on from him. But I don't know if he's a guy that you could, count on to give you more than just like rotational piece at this point. And that's really about it. I don't really see Shaq
And
Lawson. Maybe
I thought Shaq Lawson just got something done.
did he just get something done?
I may be thinking about
No,
Shaq Mason. I don't know.
no, I think you're thinking about Shaquille Barrett.
I am thinking about Shaq Barrett. Yep,
Yeah,
you're right.
I think you're thinking about Shaq Barrett. Now, here's an
So
interesting one.
so
Who?
real, so
Go
real
ahead.
quick,
Yeah.
Derek Barnett,
Uh huh.
first year 5 sacks, second year 2.5, third year 6.5. So and
Oh,
that's the highest he's been.
okay.
It's been 6.5 his third year, fourth year Philadelphia 5.5, two. Then it looks like he got injured. Didn't have any in 2023 for 8 games with the Eagles. Got traded to the Texans, and in 6 games had 2.5 sacks.
Okay. So he's a high end 6 sack guy, low end um 2 3
He's
sack
a
guy.
he's a piece guy.
Right. He's a part of the line. He is not what you're built. What about DJ Woonham,
Right.
Savion? 'Cause-
So DJ Wanham is a curious case because he did come off of a really good year last year. He on the other side, but that's the thing. It was on the other side of Daniil Hunter. So it's you bring in Wanham, but that is 100% like okay. I still need a dude
you
here.
just
Yeah,
okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I've heard the name Jonathan Ledbetter batted around a
yeah.
little
He's
bit.
a bulldog, so that would get all the bulldog fans happy that dog is coming to play.
Ah,
hmm
is he related to D. Orlando Ledbetter? Because if he is, no, I'm just kidding.
Probably no relation.
Probably not. Okay.
I would hope so, man. I would hate to be in that dude's family.
we could we could
He seems like
finally sign Justin Houston.
10
yes,
Too
years
late.
at
too
30.
late.
Yes,
10 years too
yep.
late. That's right. But see, but that's where we're at, right? The guys who are free agent available defensive ends, nothing that really jumps out at you. And
What about outside linebackers? Is there anybody in
well,
that
that's where
one?
I was going to go next.
Yeah.
So if we go to like they got them split up with defensive end edge. So let's go look at outside linebacker real quick. And this is all via Spotrac, obviously.
I wonder if Edge
So,
would be like a combination of these
and
guys.
it might be. So out of the
Yeah.
27 available, 7 have signed. There's your Josh Uche for 3 million.
$3 million,
Yeah.
man.
That's crazy.
So you can take Daniil Hunter off. You got Randy Gregory out there still.
Right.
Jerome Baker. Kayvon. Oh,
Caleb on Chase.
thank you,
Chase
Chase
on.
I
Young.
got you.
Appreciate you.
I got you.
There was a
I'm
I
from.
time
wanted him
I could
bad.
say that. What'd you say, Lo?
I was just gonna say, I remember I wanted him bad when he came out, but he
Right,
didn't.
right.
Yeah,
Everybody was, but coming off the heels of Vic Beasley, he seemed like another Beasley 2.0, and he pretty much
yeah.
has been
That's exactly what he was.
Beasley
Beasley
2.0.
2.0. Yep. And then obviously Bud Dupree, who got what 6.5 for us last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So rotational piece, but you're not building around that. And hey, we can bring Michael Walker back.
We are.
Oh
No, yeah, good.
Lord.
No, we're good. Okay.
We
Yeah,
are.
I'll be fine.
Yeah. So again,
You can bring Bruce. Oh, so this was funny. So there was a few days ago there was a trend where people were posting stuff like when we picked up Don Terry Poe and just some very like past Falcons guys.
Mhm.
And everybody was like, man, I really thought this was we were cooking when we did this, and then whatever. Um, and then I literally saw this thing that's like, you know, outside linebacker Bruce Irvin signs with the Falcons, and I was like, wait, he's back again? Like, what happened? And
then
literally
some
for like 30 seconds, I was like,
somebody there
wait,
that got you, huh?
man,
So
Now,
at this point, outside of Khalil Mack or Bosa getting cut,
Biggest drum baby.
without trading for Hassan Reddick or Josh Sweat from Philadelphia, who've rumored to be on the market, especially with them paying Bryce Huff what they paid him,
that's crazy.
average value of $17 million a year. Uh the I think you're probably going to be looking at the draft for a edge rusher.
yeah. Well, the problem is like if you go back down to the available guys, I don't think there's anybody there, honestly, that's left that I would be like, okay, that's a much better uh, piece than Arnold Ebiketie that we already got,
Right.
or potentially Malone, who has. We'll see if his ghost can be resurrected in the new defense. Well, I don't know, but as far as Arnold Ebiketie goes, like I feel like he got better last year. We'll see if he can continue like climbing the ladder there, but I don't
Mhm.
really see anybody here that's left that like blows my socks off. That I'm like, I really want this guy.
Right. So I think what would turn my attention next to like Savion, you mentioned like Jeff Okuda left, right? I wasn't 100%
Yep.
sure if they were going to bring him back with this new style of defense that they were going to be running, depending on it's
Mhm.
going to be a lot more two high safety cover three looks, to my understanding. So now I turn my attention to like potential cornerbacks, right? Is because outside of AJ Terrell, you have what Clark Phillips,
Clark Phillips.
D. Alford,
Yep.
Yep,
Mike Hughes,
yep.
which I'm really waiting on him to get cut.
Yeah, he's got to get up out of here.
So outside of that, like you got nobody, right? So is there any of these guys that like jump out to you low as far as like obviously Gardner Johnson's gone.
Yeah.
I know Poyer
Poyer's gone.
gone, but I look like okay in this instance, and maybe y'all are with me or not on this.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to filter it by team, right? Let's see.
Hmm.
Come on, Rams. So those are
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one. Akilo Witherspoon.
That's a bad
right,
man.
That's the
right.
one.
That's a
Yes.
bad man.
I
I
mean,
mean,
he's a 1-to-1 fit. He's already played here. He knows the terminology. It would be seamless.
Yeah. I mean, I think Witherspoon, you could probably grab him for a decent price.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wouldn't surprise me one bit if you grabbed one of these two to pair
Right.
with Jesse Bates, either
Right.
John Johnson or Jordan Fuller. They spoke real highly of John Johnson. So,
I mean,
you know,
I got no problem with either one of those guys.
Yeah.
You
I know.
know, kind of raiding from the same cupboard and just kind of get your off season done as far as your secondary goes, like as far as free
Right.
agency, anyways.
Might as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see no reason why they shouldn't. Do you think there's any do you think there's any truth to the rumors of them like being ready to get naked for Legarius? Did I use that right? Did
Yes,
I
you
use
did.
that?
You
I'm
used it
learning.
correct.
Like I said, I'm
Yes,
trying to
sir.
trying to be cultured is what I'm trying to say here.
There you go. There you
Do
go.
you think there's any truth to them wanting to get like really in bed with Legarius Sneed by sending a pick up to Kansas City?
I think so. I think there might be some truth to it. I did want to say a little bit earlier whenever we talk about the outside linebackers, because I mean, we are looking kind of tough there. Um, Two names that I want to mention: Randy Gregory, but I don't know how he would handle living in Atlanta, because
We have to
Randy,
keep him away from Magic City,
you
right?
gotta keep him away from
Yeah.
Magic
Okay.
City.
Okay. We just have to convince Randy Gregory that downtown doesn't exist.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So maybe
And another name.
What happens when he asks, like, well, where are we playing at?
just tell him don't worry about it. If we're playing at Mercedes Benz,
At Mercedes-Benz.
that's right.
But another thing that I think they may consider, because you got to remember who's the head coach now. Don't be surprised if they don't put Troy Anderson at outside linebacker.
Ooh, see now he played the end of and
Played
linebacker or whatever.
everything.
Yeah, he played. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was everything for Montana State.
Yeah.
uh,
exactly.
so yeah, that might not be a bad
That
plan
So
there.
so
that's the
if
way
they
that's the
do
way you
that,
get him and Landman on the field at the same time. So I'd be down
There
with
you
that.
go.
so if you do that, that opens up Jerome Baker in my mind. That opens up Jerome Baker from Miami in my mind.
Yes,
That kind of
yes,
brings that more into the fold. If you say, "Hey, look, we're gonna kind of use the speed of Troy Anderson off the edge and kind of bring Jerome Baker and say, listen, while he's doing that, you can still rush the passer and everything too, but we're gonna need you on the back end, to cover and whatnot." So
Right.
I'm not. I like that plan actually.
Uh, Doctor Slicknuts says can switch up a lot of looks
Doctor,
with that.
what?
Yeah, he used to be anonymous. And I kind of wish he'd go back to that.
I call him Doctor
I'm
Sleep.
surprised you. I'm surprised you actually.
I know, I
I'm
know.
surprised you
Normally, I say I
actually said
won't
it.
say his name, but now I even think he's getting on to me about it. He's. Yes, I think that's the first time I've actually
Oh,
said his
yo, that's
name.
awesome.
Anyway,
I don't see what the problem is. That's an awesome name, man.
it's pretty slick. I'll say that. Okay. Um, he says, we can switch up a lot of looks with that as well. With somebody like a Jerome Baker. Now, to Big says, I don't see Anderson as a full time rusher, so I think it would be a bad fit for him to be an outside linebacker. Um, I don't know, like he,
I mean,
like I
it's
said, he would.
fair.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is you have yet to let Anderson like really like get his feet grounded in one position, so to speak.
Yeah,
Um,
Just like in Montana State.
right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
mean,
the
it's like I know
now.
everybody was talking about his athleticism and everything, and it's like I mean you were there at training camp, Jr. It's like we've seen so many times. It's like we know he can run fast and we know he has all this acceleration, but when it gets to reacting to what somebody else is doing, like he thinks too much, feet stop moving. I mean, if it was me and I had a high school team and I had a kid like that, I'd be like, let me get him and put him on the edge because
Yeah.
all I need him to do is just go forward and
Forward.
Yeah.
make sure that he plays that gap and cover the reverse counters and the boots. And
Hmm.
I
if that ain't
mean,
coming, just get to the quarterback.
right. It's the whole same concept where you're like, oh, well, he's too small or whatever. Like Hassan Reddick has made a living,
Yeah,
getting after quarterbacks,
Yeah.
and he's what about
He,
230 something pounds?
Yeah, Troy Anderson, 6'4", 235. He could probably easily put on 5 pounds, get up to 240, and then that's
Hmm.
your average outside linebacker is anywhere 240,
At least
255,
now
something
it
in that
is.
range.
Yeah, nowadays for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, like that could be, the Troy Anderson move. That could be something. And I wonder if that's also part of what they're looking at. Like you have D'Angelo Malone, you have, Troy
Yeah.
Anderson coming back. Um, that must be something else that I mean, obviously they're looking at that. If us four are sitting here talking about it, you know, I would imagine that they have already thought about that as well.
Right.
I, I would have to pretend that they're smarter than I am when it comes to football. Maybe. um, so on to the next topic. And this is kind of doesn't have to be Falcons related per se. But what has been your favorite move of free agency so far? What has been the one thing that has like caught your attention these first 2 days? You're like, oh man, that's a good move or crap. I wish we'd have done that. It could be for us. It could be not for us. Because now it looks like the Titans are targeting Justin Simmons, which might make some of y'all cringe a little bit or cry. I don't think you were gonna pair Simmons with Bates. That would have been a lot of money in the safety position. But anyway,
Hmm.
Lowe, what has been your favorite move so far?
Man, I think the most intriguing move to me was the whole Brian Burns deal.
Oh yeah, right.
The way that they finessed them boys with a second and a fifth pick.
Yeah.
Dripping in finesse. It don't make no
The
sense.
the fact that what was it last year they could have gotten two
The
firsts from the
Rams
Rams.
offered them two first
Two
round
first
picks, and they
round
said,
picks.
and they let that information that no, we want Brian Burns in the building somehow leak out. Do you understand that it would have taken Batman to get that type of information out of me? You cannot let that type of stuff. Look at how that tanked his stock afterwards, man. Oh my
Crazy.
gosh.
Yep.
Yep, yep. So, yeah, that was really interesting because not only did like for us, like we were making the joke last night with Joe Patrick that Caleb McGarry's somewhere dancing, about
Facts.
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, like
Yes.
knowing that he ain't
Yes.
gotta to block Brian Burns at
I
all
like it.
Twice.
or
Well,
what?
like I said, I would have loved for us to be somehow get Brian Burns. Only way that was going to happen is if he was cut or just became a free agent or whatever. They were never going to trade with us.
Absolutely
So
not.
once it became a trade situation, I feel I am totally with McGarry on that one. Like if nothing else, get him out of this damn division. Like if we got to go through him to get to a Super Bowl, that's perfectly fine. We see him once every 2-3 years, that's
Yeah.
fine. But I don't want to see this man two, possibly three, if we meet him in the playoffs times every single year. Don't want to do it. Glad he's gone.
There you go.
Unless
Uh,
unless he played for the Washington Commanders, because we play them every year. Seems like.
oh yeah,
Yep.
right.
Somehow.
Somehow
Find a
they're
way.
in the NFC South as well. Um, Savion, what's been your favorite move?
So I've been bogged down with just all of them so far, but I gotta say my favorite is Baltimore. Is King Henry going to Baltimore? I mean, that's just seamless, man.
That was fun.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw the Pro Bowl clip where he was like, "Oh yeah, that where Lamar was on the sideline, like, oh yeah, that's money. Just give it to Henry. Just give it to Henry." Basically the same thing now. Yeah, it's basically
Yeah,
money now.
this is
You get
money,
within the five, you get within the five, give it to Henry. We're good to
right?
go.
Oh, right. So here's Fred's favorite move. No, I'm just kidding. This is not Fred's favorite move. He just hit this at a weird time during the chat. So, Matt Hennessy signed with the Eagles. I had a Eagles guy kind of reach out, I think, to me and you, Savion, on Twitter.
Yeah, but you had
Uh,
it. So I was like, yeah, you
yeah, right, right. And was asking. I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Like he's,
yep.
I hope you're not counting on him. At least O linemen are funny because they always get better. They tend to get better as they get going. It takes
Yep.
a little longer to adjust. to the NFL game in a sense. So if if he's the backup in depth, great. But if he's the replacement for Jason Kelsey, that's a
That's
problem.
not good. That's
That's
not
Yeah,
good.
no, I think that's the other guy they just signed
yeah,
too.
they
That
yeah.
that big money signing. But I like I've said it before. O linemen are weird because you get a guy that was I can't remember his name. Some Ty Sombrello.
Hell yeah.
The
Oh,
guy
yeah.
played for Denver. Was a turnstile. Played for us. Wasn't quite as bad, but wasn't really good either. And then he goes out to I think it was San Francisco. Goes out
Oh,
to San
Tennessee.
Francisco, Tennessee,
Yep.
and he's like one of the he's a part of and a good part of one of the best offensive lines in the entire NFL. And you're like, where was that when you were here? Dang it!
It was, it's a deal where with O linemen, it's coaching and scheme more, I think, are what benefit them like the most. Like, you know,
Mhm.
Brian Callahan, the new head coach, his daddy was a Bill Callahan, correct?
Ooh, that was a
Mhm.
bad man, boy. That was a
One of
bad
the
man with the O line.
right, he's one of the best O line. Like no matter where he is, no matter where he is coaching, that O line is great.
Humming.
Yeah,
And
Mhm.
so like it's I think that has a lot to do with it. And I feel like we have a really good O line coach here in Ledford.
100%.
In Dwayne Ledford. And so it's like our buddy from up north, Damsky, keeps tweeting out like he hopes that we can get our hands on Makai Becton to reunite him with Ledford. And if he does have somehow make it out, that could be a really good swing tackle for us. But anyway, Jonathan, what has been your favorite move so far? Oh yeah,
A
uh,
lot of
that
them.
one, huh?
like I don't- you know, I could be the homer and be like, it was the Cousins deal because I liked Cousins. And if we were going to go free agency, like he was the best option. And so I was glad to see we went big game hunting there and and hit the target on that one.
Right.
But if we exclude if we take that away, take out the homer pick, right? Um, Probably as much as I hate it, Saquon to the Eagles.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
That's nasty.
That's wrong
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
so many levels.
I was like, I mean, you're going to a hated rival, and that'd be like Bijan going to the Saints in a few years. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would just that'd
Yeah.
be rough, man. And then
yep.
Tiki Barber coming out and basically just calling him trash. I was like, God,
It's not even that. No, he ain't call him. He say you're dead to me.
yeah,
You are
yeah,
dead to me.
yeah.
He say good luck.
Yep.
That was crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
But
think
but it could be that. The only other thing I would say would be like the San Francisco, just like we don't have enough pass rush. We're just gonna get all the pass
just
rush.
gonna get them
All of
all,
We're gonna get all
all of them.
We lost Greener. Cool. Let me bring everyone else.
That's right.
of them.
Bring me everyone. Yeah, no, that's
definitely
exactly.
definitely have that. What was it? Guy who was a Gordon in the recent Batman movie. What's his name?
Couldn't tell you.
Ooh.
You're asking the wrong one about movies.
God dang it. Anyway, it's an older movie, The Professional or whatever, and it's like he just turns around and yells, "Everyone!" And that's what they did.
Yep, yep. I think my favorite move so far of the draft or not draft. I wish, man, that'd be nice if we were already there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We got
Matter
another
of
month
time.
or so from that one. So far, I think has been the man. There isn't really one that like super sticks out to me. I like how almost all the running backs have changed teams.
Yeah,
Like
that's crazy, ain't it?
we went from a Zoom call like running back summit last year with nobody getting paid to everybody getting paid. Not like ridiculous money, but dude, like running backs were flying off the board left, right, and center. I mean, you had Joe Mixon traded to the Texans. You had Swift signed with the Bears, and like it's just been crazy. As far as like
Aaron
Josh,
Jones is a Viking now.
yeah, Aaron, like another rival thing. Aaron Jones to the Vikings and Josh Jacobs to the Packers, and I guess AJ Dillon's still out there, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's not on the Packers.
You talking about
He's
Aaron
not the Packers.
Jones?
No, AJ
No,
Dillon,
AJ Dillon.
Oh.
the other,
Oh.
like they had a two-punch back for a while.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
That
they
was
didn't.
good.
I mean, I get it. He's 31, but like when Aaron Jones was out of that lineup for Green Bay, that offense was
Completely
way different.
Oh, yeah.
When he came back in, he was the engine for that offense. So nothing against Josh Jacobs, but like that, it just surprised me that they didn't try to hold on to him.
Mhm.
Let's see. Padre, our good buddy
There it is.
Padre
Yep.
says Gary Oldman, Jonathan. And, like,
Yep.
that's hey, and happy birthday to Padre's better half. Saw that on Twitter today.
Awesome. Happy birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
Happy birthday.
Let's see. All right. Yeah, right. All right. So somebody asked about doing a mock draft. I figure we'll wrap it up with a little quick 4-rounder. What do y'all think? You feeling it?
Man, that sounds good.
F-
Hey,
Let's go.
Okay. All right. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's do
bit
it.
of
I'm
mock
down with
racing.
it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to somewhat keep it civilized, I think. At least try to.
Nah.
No? Okay.
Now,
No, it's draft time now.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, there's nothing civilized about the
Nothing
NFL draft.
civilized. Okay. All right.
Dude.
Go
We're going
crazy
to we're
now.
going to stick at 4. We're going to stick at 4 rounds. Oh, hey, okay, before we get going, we already know now we don't have to entertain who the QB is. So are we entertaining trades? What do you think?
I mean, I think if we get a really, really good one, sure.
'Cause OMT says trade back. So let's see what we got. All right, let's start drafting and see what happens. All right.
These mock drafts get funny too.
Yeah, because look, they got Marvin Harrison
That's
at
beautiful.
one. So
Jaden Daniels is on the board.
Of course, and I said that.
Of
I said
course
this
it is.
before. I said this like last show or the show before that or something like that. I'm like, the most Falcons thing in the world would be. I don't think this is going to happen, but the most Falcons thing in the world is we go out and get a Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, or whoever we ended up, Baker Mayfield, however it ended up getting, and so we're like, oh sweet, we got a quarterback. We had no shot at the top 3, and then Jaden Daniels is sitting there at 8. I'd be like,
Looking at
I'm
you.
almost tempted to just take him
It's looking
anyway.
at you.
Looking at you.
It's looking
All right,
at
What
you.
you gonna do? What you gonna do?
all right, do we want to trade back 1 pick and go to
Absolutely
9?
not. They asked for 74 too.
All right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they
Oh,
did
yeah.
ask for 74. All right, so let's reject that one. And that was the only offer we got. Holy Pete. Okay,
Man,
so
they really don't like Jaden Daniels in this
I
one.
really don't.
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors is still there.
Both of them are there.
Rome Odunze is there.
Okay, well, hold on a second. Who was picked ahead of this? Okay,
Marvin Harrison was 1, Drake May, then Caleb Williams. Why they got Caleb Williams at 3? My
They have
foot.
Joe Alt after just getting Paris Robinson
They got-
the year before.
Okay,
They,
Joe
the
Alt.
Cardinals get
do
Joe
we
Alt.
do we need to just like throw this one away and restart it?
I think we need to restart this
Because
one,
this one's a little wonky.
This is
All right,
wild.
Let's try this again. All right, Atlanta. We're gonna do 4, and we'll go fast. All right, let's try this again. Okay, that
Caleb
looked a
went
little better.
first.
That looked a little better.
Woo!
Okay, so Indy is giving us 15, 46, and 117.
All right.
Jets are giving us 10, 72, and the second and 25.
Now I understand that in the real world, this like next year's second would be
Much, yeah, would be
it
more
would-
coveted. Mhm.
it would be more coveted, but this
For
is
the
just
sake
for
of
my
this
draft.
exercise, yeah.
If it's big on like next year stuff, I don't want it.
All right, so Houston
That's
gives us
so
23,
far.
59, 86, and so do y'all want to go all the way down? But they want 197 as well.
That would, but that's what is that? That's 1,
That's a big
2,
jump.
3. That's a lot of top 100 picks.
It
That's-
is.
Well,
That's
but I
three.
mean, if you go back to the very first one, that's the same amount of. Well, there's one outside of the top 100. So
Right, so you got
That
2
one's a
and done.
reject in my mind.
And then,
I'm looking at that one.
so you're looking
that
at this one?
Yeah, I would take that one because that gives you a mid-round, first-round pick. You're probably going to have a. Is Jaden Daniels still there? Yeah, Jaden Daniels is still there again.
Well, they got Anthony
They
Richardson.
got Anthony Richardson. This guy's got to be for like Brock or something.
They could be going for Brock, Dallas Turner, Romo Dunze, or Fuaga.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So which one y'all like, an Indy or? So we're rejecting.
That's
the
rejected.
Jets. We're rejecting the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's either Indy or to go all the way back to 23. Now, Mr. CDX for Life says no in Houston.
Yeah, I'm thinking Indy.
I think Indy.
Okay, so
I think Indy. You still get a top. still get a top tier talent.
Fred's over here wanting us to draft Turner.
Yeah,
so we'll see if that happens.
Hold on. Yeah.
All right, I think Indy has been the consensus. Chris says Indy.
Because you get those 2 picks like in the second round.
Right.
This is a very deep draft. Yep. This is a very deep draft.
Let's accept this one. All right. Are we going back any further? Or no?
We could get Dallas Turner. We could get Jared Verse.
Yeah, let's reject this.
So you still get your guy. You still get your guy.
All right. So Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, or Quinyon Mitchell.
Quinyon Mitchell, Brian Thomas Jr. is there.
There's too many corners, man. There's too many corners in the back.
I'm thinking Dallas Turner. We was getting naked earlier, right?
I was getting naked.
Savion was getting naked.
Big Low was not
getting naked. I
Big Low was not getting naked.
I say Jared Verse because I feel like Jared Verse could.
I feel like he's going.
Well, okay, so let's. Okay, so from what I have read. Dallas Turner, very good, or seems to be much better from a 2-point stance. It's not saying he couldn't get better out of a 3-point stance, but he seems to be better coming out of 2-point stance than a 3-point stance. Jared Verse is seemingly the opposite. He is much better coming out of a 3-point stance than a 2-point stance. So do we think we're going to be much more of a traditional 3-4 where your outside backers – your rushers are going to be stand up.
See,
most of the time.
Here's the issue with Verse. Okay. And I like Verse. Like when I watch Verse,
I'm an FSU fan.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yes, exactly. Yes. But Verse will be 24 in his the rookie season. Like, does that bother y'all?
Not as much. Not as much. I feel like it should, but it doesn't.
Like I like Jared Verse. See, I think Turner's 21.
I think he's like 21.
Yeah, it's like Turner's like the youngest of the.
He's young.
he's the hyper elite explosive and bend capability. Like he's the.
Bendy.
Yeah,
he is bendy. He's bendy, and I feel like Jonathan said, if you want to run that more traditional 3-4, then that's the guy to get.
Right, and I know Alabama has used him in coverage. And, has done a lot of different – he's more versatile in a sense. So, let's see. Fred's saying Turner. King is saying Verse.
That doesn't help.
Doesn't help. The Dixon Way says Verse can tackle 2 players at once.
I mean, he's strong.
Yeah, he's strong. So, strong. I met him in person. I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Whenever I took my little cousin to a visit in Florida State, I met him in person, and it was like, you know how you dap somebody up, you kind of feel them out. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. You want to
Look, y'all that ain't seen Lowe, he ain't no little dude, okay?
No.
That might be that might be swaying us on this one. I think we're going to go with Verse.
Let's go Verse then.
All right.
I understand it.
Hey, look, we'll go Verse. Because of Lowe getting to dap him up and you being an FSU fan. We'll be nice to our guest today. So we're going Verse. We spent a lot of time on that one.
It was important.
That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun.
Okay, I'm not trading any more outside of the first round. So we're going to reject. Because if we don't, we're going to be here all night. And I like y'all, but not that
much.
Now, there's Penix. Do you take Penix and let him sit?
So
it just got real.
Like Penix is a guy. I'm thinking.
Now here's a guy.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
I was
Sorry.
thinking it.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
If we pick him, he almost definitely not going to start for at least 2 years.
Oh yeah, of course.
Correct.
So he'll be pushing 30 by the time he starts for us.
Exactly.
But
Well, he'll be 26.
might as well be pushing 30.
But that means that you're not going to get the guy unless he gets Jordan Love. Unless you get like Jordan Love type return on him, you're not going to get that guy until he's like 28.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like until he really settles in, you're not. You got to figure at least the first year is going to be bumpy, even if he gets to sit for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at almost 30 before he's in form. So you're looking at 6 to 7 years. Is that enough?
But at the same time, it's a second round pick.
Right. We got an extra one. So do we even care?
At 46.
So in the second round, their contract, they have one less year in their contract, right?
Correct.
3 years, and then
well, they got it's a 4 year.
No, they get 4 years. They just don't get that extra.
They don't get that
fifth year option.
Okay,
right.
So they don't get the 5th year option. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
John H is saying we have a 36-year-old quarterback coming off injury. Draft Penix.
All right, so if we want to draft Penix, I'm perfectly fine with that. However, the guy you just had your cursor.
Yeah,
that's the guy. And I did a couple mock drafts earlier today, and one of them or both of them I took Tavondre Sweat in the second round.
Yeah.
And the first one, some guys like, I'm not going to spend a second round pick on a guy who's a 2-down guy and comes out on passing downs. And I'm like, but if we're running a 3-4, you need a nose tackle. And that dude is a mountain of a man.
And look, and also at the end of the day, you can't I know what they are in college, but that don't mean that they can't develop into more. Right.
Yeah.
So all I'm thinking on the Penix thing makes sense because now you're looking at the Raiders who I didn't see who
have they gotten? Is there a way to
let's go back up. Okay. They got JJ McCarthy, so I don't think that's worried about the
that's New Orleans. So that's
JC
Latham for them.
Yeah. So we might want to take Penix here if we're going to take a quarterback at all. What do you think?
I mean, if we don't take Penix here, the only other guy I would even look at in probably the 3rd or 4th round is Rattler.
Right. And
right. Or Michael Pratt in the 5th, but that's a forever almost like backup at that point.
Right. Yeah. So to Biggs saying wait till the 3rd and get
Absolutely
Joe M. Tennessee.
No, not in the 3rd.
Absolutely not.
All right, so
you get him maybe in the 4th, but probably 5th or later.
Let's see what we got here. Mind. As far as wide receivers go, you got Michael Corley. I think we could get any of these guys on this pick.
Yeah.
And it looks like my guy Ladd is not there.
No, Ladd went up. No, I saw Ladd got picked up.
Real quick.
Right there. I'm sorry.
Who'd he go to?
Carolina.
Panthers.
That would not be fun.
That's just
that
mean.
Would not be fun.
That's just mean.
Defensive tackle.
You got
okay. Braden Fisk is the other guy. If we don't take Tavondre Sweat, I would take and he gets gobbled up. I would take Braden Fisk.
I got you.
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm thinking with this pick, either Penix or Sweat, or somebody was saying we had a couple TJ Tampas.
TJ Tampa's really good. TJ Tampa.
I'm about to say you're my corner guy, Savion.
Yeah, TJ Tampa is really good. Mm-hmm.
So
all right. So do we take? So I think
I'm seeing a lot of TJ Tampa.
If we don't take Sweat right here, there's a very good chance that
I feel like Penix is going at 44. If we don't take
that New Orleans grabs him.
All right, so we going Sweat here, and then try to get Tampa on the second one.
I think Sweat is the guy that if he is what we think he's going to be, the ripple effects of him on the rest of the defense is that much bigger. Is much bigger than somebody like a TJ Tampa.
All puns
It's like
intended.
I'm just not sold on. I'm not sold on Sweat like long term.
You're not sold on Sweat?
Because every year we have a guy that comes out 350, 360 pounds, and everybody talks about him all draft season, and then he comes to play in the NFL, and he's
Mm-hmm.
out there sucking wind through a straw because he's 364 pounds. Like I've been
I
364 pounds. It's not easy. You go out there and try to push up against somebody for 3 hours. So I mean, a second
yeah.
round pick on him, I don't know.
So who would you take here, Lo?
Man, I'm looking at T.J. Tampa. I'm looking at Penix.
Yeah.
All right, go TJ Tampa.
I'm
and
thinking
then
Tampa.
All right.
and then actually from there, I would say Braden Fisk if Sweat's gone, which is
Okay.
he's
So
not.
Sweat
He's
is
still there.
he's
Sweat's
still there.
there.
So do we take Sweat or do we go
Or look at
with
wide receivers.
do we look at another wide receiver?
Corey's still
Malachi
there.
So the
Corley.
next pick is at 74. If you look at the wide receivers what do we need? We need do we need an outside guy now?
Well,
Yes.
I mean, because Mooney is an outside guy, right?
He's a Z,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's outside. Uh, London is your power slot, and then you're looking at probably another outside guy.
I'm looking. I understand the Tavondre Sweat. I really do. I really do. But
He's right. He's right there.
he's right there.
What about Carmen Kitchens?
Cameron Kitchens. That's
Cameron.
that's my favorite safety.
Right. I mean, we could use safety help because unfortunately, Richie Grant didn't really develop.
That's my favorite safety.
Is he better? I don't know I don't know him.
Mhm.
Is he more of a free safety, strong safety, or can he kind of do either or?
He's versatile. That's why I like him.
Both.
Well,
That's why I
and
like
in this with like what's coming up is like you're having
have a
that too high,
yeah.
too high safety, so you need him to be able to
You need to be able to
do
to
both.
go
So
go up and down with Jesse Bates. Yeah.
So do you think that would be better, just like shore up the secondary completely, or a lot
I
of
don't
our
think
like
you do that.
And there's a lot
you
of
know we
sweats
got.
in there though. A lot of people saying Sweat.
I'm about to say a lot of people are saying Sweat. Dixon Way's saying
I
Sweat.
mean, so for all we know, but sometime between now and the draft, we pick up our starting strong safety, essentially.
Right,
The guy
and we
to
probably
build.
do. Like we probably do. I don't think that they're going to roll with that many young guys in the secondary. To be honest. So, all right, let's grab Sweat here.
There's so many good players. Yeah.
I
Let's
know
grab
it,
Sweat
man.
here. All right, we're gonna try to get Sweat down to 250, and maybe he can breathe a little easier.
Yeah. Get him to sweat a little bit.
Hey,
Give Sweat.
all right, now Braden Fisk.
I picked Marshawn Nealon in one of my mocks.
Braden Fisk is still there. If you're worried about Grady Jarrett,
Ah.
Braden Fisk. That's your Aaron Donald.
hello,
That's your Aaron
hello.
Donald
Yeah.
from your Rams. Hello. From
Hello.
your Rams
That's-
defense.
Safety Javon Bullard for all of our dog fans.
Oh
out
my
there.
God.
Wow.
Cole Bishop, from Utah.
Go to
I don't know.
receiver.
Receiver. Let's see what we got. Xavier Leggett,
Oh.
Wow.
Ricky Pearsall.
Oh,
Ricky
That's
Pearsall's still there.
crazy.
Jalen McMillan.
Devontae Walker.
Walker had a
See,
lot of
Johnson,
drop
Johnson.
issues in the Senior Bowl, and he'd have to get that figured out. But Johnny
Leggett.
Wilson and glorified that he's going to the Steelers with Arthur Smith.
100%. You know what? You know what? I would laugh so hard
I'm
if
telling
Johnny
you,
Wilson is a Steeler.
Steeler right there. Let's see. Like there's still some good ones that we could grab later on, like Brendan Rice and
Jacob
Luke-
Cowing.
Luke McCaffrey.
Plenty.
I really
And,
like.
But
I understand what everyone's
when's
saying.
our next? So our next pick is at 79. So
Right.
Which-
a
yeah.
lot of those guys are still going to be now. I don't think that Xavier Leggett's going to be there.
Xavier Leggett probably not, and possibly Ricky Pearsall. So
Oh. Could you see
Hold
on.
Jalen Trice? Oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. Braylon
No,
Is
go ahead,
Trice.
man.
Brandon still there?
Is he?
Yeah, is Braylon
Is he?
Trice on the board?
No, I think Brandon Trice got scooped up.
Yeah.
No, he already got.
hmm
Yeah, I figured.
Your next best edge rusher is Marshawn Nealon.
Very,
Let's see
very
what
good
the
guy.
let's. I've been looking at this screen. Let's see what the chat says. Kenneth is asking if Pearsall's still there. He's still there.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's still there.
Yeah, triple
Connoisseurs.
salute. Connoisseurs, thank you.
Connoisseurs.
So I told you I got the spelling and reading capacity of a third grader. Connoisseur triple salute says get Braden Fisk with the pick.
So the reason why I get that is because you have your pick of Leggett.
changed his mind. He said, never mind, Leggett.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand because now you have your pick of Leggett or Pearsall or McMillan, who was another really good outside wide receiver
Yep.
at 79.
Let's see.
But
All right, the next comment gets it. Oh, Tasman got it. Tasman got it. All right, we're going Leggett. And reject.
And
Okay.
tell me Fisk is still there.
Nope.
oh,
Nah,
Dang
he's
it.
gone. He's gone.
All right.
And you let him go to the Seahawks, man.
Cedric Pran Gardner, OC
Granger, yeah,
Granger. Got
The
him.
center.
Yeah. If you're not
Very
super
good
sold
center.
on Drew Dahlman, we could get Johnny Wilson.
Well,
we
right.
could get let's see, defense, D tackle. Don't
Kelly
know.
Jackson is okay.
Dwayne Carter did good at the Senior Bowl, but that might be a little too rich right here.
That is a little too rich. That's a fourth rounder.
Yeah.
We got any tackles
see.
on the board?
Tackles. Let's see.
Ooh,
Special teams.
special teams is important too.
Well, yeah, but not in the third round, Savion.
We're not.
The 49ers did it.
Well, that's
We're-
look.
we're
you
not-
see,
we're-
you
we're
see
not
how many
gonna
rings
pull
they're
a tap-
taking.
Yeah, we're not going to pull a Tampa Bay and draft a guy or no. What was
Listen. Okay,
the Raiders
Arroyo was. I have nothing. Yeah,
Okay, I got Roger Rosengarten. I know nothing about him.
nothing. And
Big Low?
that's on my part.
I ain't got nothing.
I've heard his name talked about, but I have not looked into him.
I mean, Washington's offensive line was just stupid last year, so
Right.
I'm sure he's good.
Blake Fisher from Notre Dame.
Can never go wrong with a Notre Dame guy.
That's all I'm seeing right now.
Delmar Glaze is the one name I do know, but again,
Glaze.
I think that right now in this mock draft world, he's still not touted enough to where he can like fall to the fourth.
Right.
Chris
Let's
is saying
see.
the OT from Yale.
OT from Yale.
Right there, that's a name.
Amagadeji.
Yeah,
Arnagaday.
y'all have fun with that one. I'll call him KA. Like, what's up, Ka? Got you.
Kieran.
What's
Kieran.
up, Ka?
Call him Karen. No, I'm just kidding. Won't call him
Kieran.
Karen. That's still a little rich as far as where they have him ranked 95 at 79. Wide receiver, we could double down in the third if we really felt like we needed it.
We could stick one to Arthur Smith and take his receiver, Johnny
Hey,
Wilson.
Johnny Wilson.
I'm okay.
Let's see. We took
Marshawn Nealon. How big is Marshawn Nealon again?
Marshawn Nealon is 265 at 6'3".
Oh, that's a big boy.
It's a big boy. Let's see. Do we need a linebacker?
Okay, who have we picked? So, what are all of our picks so far? Go to my picks.
Jared Verse, edge. TJ Tampa, corner. Tavonde Sweat, DT. Xavier Leggett, wide receiver.
That's pretty good, actually. This is really good so far.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, I'm just saying we could go down with
I don't know Kalen Carson. I don't know who Kalen Carson is.
I don't know, but Chris seems to think Carson is, a decent pick.
I don't know who Kalen Carson is, unfortunately.
Let's see. What about, we haven't picked up a safety. What about Cole Bishop? One of the best safeties in the nation. Done. Right there. Done.
He is, but he's little. He is little.
6'2", 205?
I mean,
is that little?
I mean, that's pretty good size. I mean, it is, but he looks so little at Utah.
Say he's fast.
He's a hitter though.
Hey,
He's a hitter though.
Sean Taylor's out there, Savion, running around here.
Maybe that's maybe.
live.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Uh,
You're
Uh,
right. You're right.
I don't know. We could use a safety. As far as that goes, because even says
I mean,
you know.
I like Nealand, and I'm kind of down with the San Francisco motto of like just keep bringing in more edge guys and we'll figure it out.
I mean,
Right.
Kenneth seems to think Nealon is a steal here.
He really is.
All right. Anybody opposed? Say aye.
No,
Nope. Okay. Nealon.
If you're gonna double dip it anywhere, Edge is
I
definitely
mean,
the
Edge
place
is
to
not
do
a.
it.
yeah.
Oh,
that's the place to
Tasman.
go.
I'll let you get the last one. Sorry, brother. Rejecting that trade. All right. 109. We are looking at uh Leonardo Green. Green. Come on, Florida State. Savion. Yeah.
100% with it if you want to do it.
All right.
Another guy that's fun is Austin Booker, but we already did Edge, so it's okay.
Yeah, we could go Dwayne Carter here.
Mhm.
Like he lit up the Senior Bowl and all that jazz.
I mean, one of my mocks, I picked 4 wide receivers. So I mean, you want to go 4 ed. But the problem was I went with PFF, their mock simulator, and as far as I can tell, there's no way to tell
You have to scroll
without scrolling up. There's no
Yeah.
easy way to be like, here's all the guys I've picked. And so I just kind of lost track of how many wide receivers I had picked. Got
You're
to
like,
the
I need
end
wide
and was
receiver.
like, well, I'm swinging for average here. One of these guys has got to get it done, right?
Now, which mock simulator is this, Jr? Because
Sir.
I never seen this one.
This is
Pro Football
Football
Network.
Network.
It's pretty good.
Okay, Pro Football
It's
Network.
free as far as the trades and stuff goes. I've had on one of their senior analyst, Ian Cummings. I've talked to him a handful of times over the years. So I like this. I like this draft. They do a pretty good job.
Okay.
Myself. So Dwayne Carter or your Demir Glaze, if we wanted to
If you want to start looking at the
start
offensive
looking
line,
at some O linemen.
Hey, I like Krispy Kreme donuts.
You like some glazed donuts?
Yes, sir. You can't
Alright,
beat it.
yeah.
I call it getting glazed up.
Get glazy with it. The other day I had a maple glazed donut that had vanilla cream filling. It was amazing.
Oh, sugar, honey, iced tea.
Look, the only thing it was missing was the bacon. Unfortunately, they didn't have bacon. They had ran out before I got there. It was.
Hey, see
I was
me, I
mad.
would have went home and cooked some, chopped it up, and threw
Just
it
put
on
it on top.
there.
I was heading to church, low. I didn't have time to go
Oh,
back to the
okay.
house and cook.
Okay.
cook up.
Hey,
Anyway,
gotta do what you
so
gotta do.
do we need another linebacker? James Williams out of Miami, 6'4", 231.
I mean, you can always use another linebacker.
Okay, hold on. I'm confused here. It says linebacker is one of the most unorthodox safety prospects.
What?
must have bulked up for the what's it called? Because you got to look at it. Because you got to look at the RAS. Or is that as a linebacker?
I don't know. I'm confused. All right, we're moving on from him. Jaden Hicks out of Washington State, safety. 6'2",
He's good
211.
too.
Yeah, he's good. I
Yeah,
watched tape on him. He's legit.
he's good.
Okay. All right. Look,
He's
that
good,
might be
too.
enough for me. Might be enough for me. I got two of my co-hosts saying he's legit. So let's go safety.
He's only 6'3", 202. Man, I'm trying to. I'm my
Right.
thing is way off.
117. This is our last pick, and because we only went with fourth round, so this is our last pick. So, Makai Wingo is a name that I recognize.
Wow.
284.
To the fourth.
He made it to the
Dwayne
fourth
Carter.
Wow.
Is still there. Let's see.
Meki Wingo.
Yeah.
What's his size?
He's 6
Yeah,
foot,
he's-
284. It's probably the
Uh-huh.
284 that's kind of hurting him a little bit of an undersized, maybe undersized 3 tech.
Yeah.
round. Yeah.
Let's
3 foot,
see.
6 foot.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Probably got
Malik
short
Washington.
Malik Washington,
Oh,
5'8".
wow, I didn't know he was that little. But yeah. I mean,
Cam
he's a-
Hart. I don't know if we need
Cam
another.
Hart's still out
Wow.
Yeah.
6'3".
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cam Hart's legit.
Cam Hart and
Cam
Kyrie
Hart is
Jackson are
legit.
2 really good corners.
That's a
Right.
that's
So-
a Raheem Morris guy. That's a Raheem
Right.
Morris and Dan Quinn guy. Cam Hart.
That sounds like a Pete Carroll Seahawks Legion of Boom kind of guy. 6'3", 202.
He's long, man.
Brendan Rice is still there.
Can never go wrong with Brendan.
I like Brendan.
Never go wrong with little Jerry.
I mean, I like Brendan
mean,
Rice.
Get some Jerry Rice. Maybe some of his greatness rubs off on the sideline. Maybe
he looked good at the Senior Bowl.
How often does that happen, though?
Like the sun actually turned into something.
Yeah,
very rarely.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
We can the New Hampshire running back who had everybody talking.
That guy was really good. Yeah, I mean, if we needed a running back, that would definitely be one of my guys. But
Fred is asking if the wide receiver from Texas is still there, and I don't think so.
Oh no,
Jordan Whittington is.
He's pretty big,
but not Worthy.
Worthy would probably
go. Oh, absolutely not. After what he did to the combine,
Chiefs done drafted him already.
Your Chiefs done drafted him. We didn't go tackle, so we could look at a tackle here.
But nobody's really in the. I mean, obviously it's our last pick, but I mean,
yeah.
Only name I know out of here is Christian Jones. That's the only one that I recognize.
Offensive guard. Brandon Coleman.
Javion Cohen is good. He did really well at the Senior Bowl.
Javion Cohen, okay. Zach Zinter, I've heard his name. But I think we're set at guard with Berg and Lindstrom, obviously. We could get Michael Pratt from Tulane or Joe Milton.
You can take a flyer on Jordan Travis and let him sit for a couple of years.
What you think, Savion?
How old is Jordan Travis right now?
I think
he's 24.
Yeah.
Jordan Travis, but Jordan Travis could be fun.
Jordan Travis
says we never took a QB, so y'all want to take a QB here?
Well, okay.
I'm not against Michael Pratt.
You're not against Michael Pratt? Yeah, he was fun at who's Javon Foster? Oh, Chris says Pratt's 22.
He's a young Thundercat.
Yeah, he could battle with Ritter for the backup, at least for the first year or two, right? And maybe develop.
I'm not opposed to that. I like
When was
Pratt.
the last time?
Like Baby Potter.
Oh, I thought you were going to say wet behind the ears.
Breath smelling like Similac.
When was the last time a developmental quarterback actually turned out?
Jordan Love.
No, that was first round pick.
I'm
talking like.
Okay.
I'm talking about like.
You take late.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy.
I guess.
Purdy.
I mean,
maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I guess Purdy, but Purdy was the beneficiary of maybe one of the best situations.
I mean, the only guy that really comes to mind for me is Brady. 6th round.
Hurts, maybe, but he's still
round,
second,
right? The only one that really comes to mind. He was 4th round. He got pressed into service early.
Technically Cousins.
I was about to say technically Cousins because he was drafted the same year that RG3 was and sat for a couple years before he got his chance. So I don't know. I like the idea of Jordan Travis I like the idea of a young guy. So if we go anybody here, we go Pratt. Now we can make all the women in Atlanta extremely happy and go Sam Hartman. My wife was not interested in the combine at all until I showed her a picture of Sam Hartman.
Wow.
Worst mistake I've ever made. Okay. Just saying.
Wow.
You poor soul.
I know, right? Like, how am I supposed to compete with that? That's just mean. Okay. Anyway. How's Devin Leary? Because he's interesting.
He is interesting. He's one, yeah.
He's accurate. Like, he's really accurate. I just don't know how old he is. All right. Do we want to take a quarterback? Chat, do we want to take a quarterback? CDX is saying Milton. Same thing with OMT. How old is Milton? Is he 23 or something?
I think Milton is. Yeah, I think Milton is young, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see.
OMT, you would come up, give me the age of Milton, and then maybe we'll talk. If he's in the same age as Pratt,
he's 24.
Oh,
whoa!
Pratt,
he just turned 24. He's born March 6th.
Well, he should be throwing like a grown man then.
I'll tell you, he's almost middle age.
Hello, he is middle
Um,
aged for the
I'm
NFL.
sorry if you're almost 24 and you're not carving people up in that Tennessee offense.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can trust that.
All right, so it's either Pratt or we go Dwayne Carter. So Pratt or Carter. Chris says Pratt.
Wait,
Chris
wait, keep
Pratt.
scrolling
Uh-huh.
down, Jr.
All right, keep
Just a
going.
little bit.
Keep scrolling down. I'm
You got
looking for my
Jalen.
name in there.
Let's see. Hold on.
You don't see
Hold
it?
on.
You don't
I
see
don't
me in
see.
there?
I don't see Bigelow in there.
Okay.
I don't.
You
I
don't
don't
see
see.
Did
Georgia
you
State?
did you not submit the
Oh,
paperwork properly or something?
Yeah, right.
I guess not. Like,
I'm
We
almost
could get.
positive he's at the combine.
We could get
You-
real crafty and go Jaheim Bell.
ooh.
I
You're
like
you're a
him.
sicko.
I am a
You are
sicko.
a sicko,
I am a
Jr.
sicko.
You are a sick man to go and get another tight end.
Slash running back, slash fullback, slash. I love my
slash
slash
F
guys.
slash H
That's right.
slash
That's
yeah.
right. I love those guys. I'm always a sucker for those guys. Or we could go offensive tackle, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't like the idea. All right.
Let's go
I'm saying we
quarterback.
go Pratt. What do y'all think?
Yeah, sounds good.
So, all
yeah,
right.
I'll be fine with Pratt.
Bam. Done. Pratt. This is our 4 round mock. We went
That's
with
not bad, man.
Jared
I
That's
Verse.
mean,
really good.
This is after trading down from 8 to 15. We picked up Jared Verse, TJ Tampa, Tavondre Sweat, Xavier Leggett, Marshawn Nealon, Jaden Hicks, and Michael Pratt.
Out of that, I think you get. I think you may get a solid 5 good good names out of that,
Yeah,
and then you have
Oh yeah.
Nealand and Pratt that are developmental.
right. I think that could be a pretty good haul if they come up with something like that.
yep.
Yeah. All right, well, guys. I appreciate y'all sticking around to do a mock draft with us. That was kind of spur of the moment. I was really kind of hoping that some form of news, like Falcons news, would drop while we were doing this. Uh, I kept looking over at Twitter and nothing. I got
Yeah,
nothing. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Uh, Bigelow, tell the folks where they can find you, sir.
Yes, sir. Everybody out there that don't know me, my name is Big Low Country. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach that loves to sit around and talk about sports. You can find us at Big Low Country Sports on YouTube. We're also on Instagram and Twitter, um, and we also have a platform on Facebook.
There you go, Savion.
Savion Mixon over at Mixon S underscore NFL. You can find me writing for the Vikings at the Vikings Wire. Every now and again, I try to also get over to blogging dirty and write Falcons whenever I have the time. But I've been a Falcons fan for a long time, so I will be on Twitter talking about the Falcons at all times.
There it is. There it is. Jonathan, tell folks where they can come by and find you.
You can come and find me here on YouTube. Obviously, you guys know it. But you can also catch me on Twitter at Jonathan M. Holder. Just come by, say hi.
There you go. As always, folks, y'all can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Grim1128. We appreciate y'all hanging with us the past couple of days talking about this free agent stuff. If anything pops off, I'll probably like record a short video, but we'll be back live next Tuesday. Uh, I think people want your catchphrase one more time there, Mr. Lowe, if you want to throw that out there for.
Definitely, man. Before we leave, I do want to thank you and Jonathan Jr. for inviting us on. Thank you
100%.
so much.
Oh yeah.
We definitely
Yeah, man. Thank you.
appreciate it too.
Heck
We
yeah.
always enjoy it, man. I always
Yeah,
have a
man.
great
It's
time
dude.
whenever.
Always
And we
fun.
appreciate
much
you
fun.
guys coming on with us because it's always fun to get you guys, either one of you guys on, and having you both on at the same time. Awesome.
Yep, it
Man,
is. It is
we
good fun stuff. Just
we
something
always
I
enjoy.
try to do more of. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
all right.
But before we leave, I did want to
Yes, sir.
ask y'all:
Yes, sir.
did any of y'all get a chance to see Quarterback One on Netflix whenever it
I
came out?
did not. I have not. I don't watch.
Guys,
Is it good?
guys,
That's the ones
go
like I saw.
watch it.
That's with what Mahomes, Mariota,
And
uh
Kirk Cousins,
and Kirk Cousins.
go
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I
watch it.
did watch that. It's really good. I
Go
I
watch it,
100%
Jr.
agree.
Go
yeah,
watch
I'll
it.
probably have to go. I've seen some clips come out of it, and I know like Kirk Cousins, the person, is somebody that I am
Phenomenal.
like proud to have here in Atlanta.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
right. Yes,
Like that much I know for sure. Like I may not 100% think that he could take us to the Super Bowl, but I can't complain when we haven't even sniffed the playoffs in almost a decade. So, but that's another story. But
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, the person, I couldn't be more ecstatic
It's
to
like
have representing our franchise for the next few years.
it's like if you
Yeah.
watch it, you'll see the way Marcus Mariota was handling the team, and you
And
see
the way
what
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins
Cousins was
was.
doing. Oh my
Oh my
God,
God.
Jr. You're gonna be mad, but then you're gonna be like, well, at least we have Kirk Cousins now. But
Right.
it's I mean, it is night and day, and I'm
Yep.
telling you, you will really enjoy it. You will really
And for
enjoy
like most people know, like if y'all follow me on Twitter, y'all know my belief system. But like as Tasman's putting out here, Kirk Cousins is a man of God, and that
it. Yes.
that makes in this day and age that makes my heart warm. For what that's worth. All right, folks. We appreciate y'all hanging with us. Appreciate you two hanging with us. Appreciate everybody in chat hanging with us. Y'all come back next Tuesday. We will be live again. And as always, Falcons fans, rise up.
Rise
What
up.
in the world, Bo?
Rise up.
There it is.